Over 60 years ago, Martin Luther King Jr. and other activists began their struggles to show that people of color in this country, especially black people, will be treated with respect and dignity because they are human. Martin Luther King Jr. devoted his life to giving people of color a voice in a world where the nation was deaf to those holding it accountable for its own injustices. This day will not be a day off, but a day on, a day to look around at what is happening and ask to yourself, what are we doing for others?
The goal of the newly formed SHOUT Committee is to overcome and spread awareness of unjust treatment of others. Now we would like to remind you of the wise words of Dr. King and read a passage from his speech, Beyond Vietnam. In this speech, Dr. King expresses his opposition to the war in Vietnam and explains that civil rights and current events are interconnected.
We are now faced with the fact that tomorrow is today.
And we are confronted with the fierce urgency of now. In this unfolding conundrum of life and history, there is such thing as being too late.
Procrastination is still the thief of time. Life often leaves us standing bare, naked, and dejected with a lost opportunity.
The tide in the affairs of men does not remain at the flood.
It ebbs. We may cry out desperately for the time to pause in her passage, but time is deaf to every plea and rushes on.
Over the bleached bones and jumbled residue of numerous civilizations
are written the pathetic words, too late.
There is an invisible book of life that faithfully records our vigilance or our neglect.
The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on. We still have a choice today.
Nonviolent coexistence or violent co-annihilation.
We must move past indecision to action.
We must find new ways to speak for peace in Vietnam and justice throughout the developing world.
A world that borders on our doors.
If we do not act, and we shall surely be dragged down the long, dark, and shameful corridors of time,
reserved for those who possess power without compassion, might without morality, and strength without sight.
Now, let us begin.
Now let us rededicate ourselves to the long and bitter but beautiful struggle
for a new world.
This is the calling of the sons of God, and our brothers wait eagerly for our response.
Shall we say the odds are too great?
Shall we tell them the struggle is too hard?
Will our message be the forces of American life, militate against their arrival as full men?
And we send our deepest regrets? Or will there be another message?
Of longing, of hope,
of solidarity with their yearnings, of commitment to their cause.
Whatever the cost, the choice is ours.
And though we might prefer it otherwise,
we must choose in this crucial moment of human history.
Hello, my name is Danny, and I would like to let you know that if you want to keep up with SV Shout, please follow us on TikTok or Instagram at SV_Shout. It will be a pleasure to understand and for you to understand what we and our committee is about to concede.